All right, we back on the beat talking about the music, hanging out all white with my man, former lead singer of Blackstreet, the lead singer of Blackstreet, because you're back together. Former member of Patti LaBelle's entourage, Vanessa Bell Armstrong, Glenn Jones, been around all over the world.
That's a lot.
Everybody, long time, man. My main man, Dave Hollister.
What's going on, man?
Hey, man, we talking about the music.
Man, listen, where do I start?
You got a lot of
Man,
we can't go through everything now, so we just gonna give the viewers just a little bit of it, man. So, what you been up to, man?
man, I'm working on this new album. We just got off stage over here at this all-white affair, you know, out here in Memphis, you know, did it big,
in the dirty South.
In the dirty.
Yeah.
But I'm working on a new album called After Church. It's an R&B album that's shaping up to be pretty crazy, man.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all, I've been there. It's crazy. So you got everybody that's been waiting on it. It's gonna happen. Trust me.
Definitely
Because
gonna
he's putting it down.
Definitely gonna happen.
So look, man. Now just to take to give the viewers a little history of you, I kind of briefly ran through some things when we opened up. But where did it all start?
Man, it actually all started with Vanessa Bell Armstrong. So I singing background with her when I was 16. Then from Vanessa, I went to my brother-in-law, Glenn Jones, who actually was the one that introduced me to, you know, the R&B realm.
Right.
And once I did that, man, it was like it took off from there. It went from him to Mary J. Blige, and Mary J. and Patti LaBelle together, and then I was George Michael, Toto, it just went crazy, man.
Everybody.
Yeah, man. And then Teddy, we was on the Bobby Brown Humping Around tour. I was singing background with Mary J. Blige, and Teddy was there at the show in Hampton, Virginia. I'll never forget it, at the Hampton Coliseum. He came backstage after it was over. Me and Mary did a duet. He heard it, came backstage and asked me to join the group.
Right. So the group being Blackstreet.
Blackstreet, right.
Right. And
My
for-
band,
yeah.
Blackstreet, y'all.
And for those of you that don't know who Teddy is, Mr. Teddy Riley,
Himself.
the New Jack.
Yes, sir.
The man that I say started it all with the young producers and songwriters.
Definitely, man.
Yeah. So
Legend.
look, let me ask you this now. You named all of these people, and me kind of knowing a little bit of history of the music industry. You were actually there, kind of like at the beginning of the Uptown MCA days with Mary
Right.
J. and KC
Right.
and JoJo,
Right.
Father MC, all of
Yeah, man. We did on Treat 'Em Like They Want to Be Treated. It was actually me and KC, and JoJo came at the end of the session. He got in on it, and then we did. Me and Mary J. did "I'll Do for You" on Father MC, and that kind of started my whole session. You know, my whole session thing. That's actually where Mary and I met.
Right.
Doing that session.
Right. So now working with all these different people, man, because you name a lot of people, but you name people with a lot of different styles
Right.
of music. Because you
Right.
talked about Toto, who is a jazz
Man.
band, and then George Michaels, who was a 80s and early 90s pop icon.
Right.
Then you're
right.
talking about Teddy Riley, the master of the New Jack Swing, and then you got Mary J. Blige and Casey and JoJo and Blackstreet. So all of this is different, man. So how are you able to fit in, and are you just that versatile?
Man, you know, it's God, man. You know, I definitely don't take credit for my talent and my gift, you know. But to keep working in this industry, you gotta be versatile. You can't just do one type of music. And you gotta, you know, for all those people out there that are willing to, you know, that are wanting to be in the industry, man, I say start out as a background singer first. It's nice to do American Idol and Gospel Dream and Sunday's Best and all of that, but those who sweated blood, sweat and tears and paid dues to get here, we don't respect those people because they didn't pay no dues to get to where they are.
Right.
And that's why a lot of times, you know, you see the American Idols, nothing against them, but American Idols fall off because they don't have no longevity. They don't know how to, they don't have no sustaining
Don't know how to
power.
sustain.
You know what I mean? So, you know, I don't even watch those shows. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I mean, I'm glad that my niece Yana Crawley won Sunday's
Oh yeah,
best.
well hey, that's a different breed.
You know,
see, Yanni's
you
been
know,
around a
and
long
she's paid
time,
dues.
and she's paid her dues.
You know,
yeah.
so you know that's different. You know, and not just because she family, but she it was her time.
Right.
You know what
right.
I mean? But I just don't, you know, going the way of the competition and all of that. That's why they never around. They don't stay around.
Well, it's all about advertising dollars and marketing and promotion to them and to them being the powers that be. And once that's over and done with, it's kind of like, where do you go from here?
Right. They're not in the business now. Nowadays, these execs are not in the business of building careers. They want the fast buck. They want, you know what I mean? They ain't even putting the money that they used to put into artists anymore. You know, so it's now about the artist learning to be his own exec. You know what I'm saying? And putting himself out. Now he has to be 50% of the record company because
you know, when I talk to you and all the other guys that I know, and I hear you guys talk about back in the day when you got ready to do records, how you had a $450,000 budget. Or in Teddy's case, $1 million budget or $2 million budget.
Yeah, because Blackstreet, we had an unlimited budget. We didn't really have a budget, you know. But it just really depends. And then with me, my budgets were in the millions. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of me going to gospel. You know, the budgets that they give you in gospel, I was getting as an advance.
And
you know what I'm saying?
Well,
so,
and that's the thing. People are so, and I don't want to say misled because I want to be politically correct, but at the same time keep it real, as we always say.
Right.
People are so misconstrued, if I'm saying the right word, about gospel and being in church. Making gospel records is totally different from being a church member.
Definitely.
People are in the business of making gospel records to sell records and make money.
That's true.
And they want to sell just as many gospel records on you as you did when you were singing R&B or hip hop or whatever the case. But they don't want to spend the money to do it. So it's almost a little bit worse than the R&B, because at least here they're giving you something to work with.
Right.
And over here it's almost kind of like, well, you know, praise God, thank you Jesus,
right,
but go out and make this money for me, and then once you do that,
that's true,
go on about your way.
That's true. That's true.
So,
that's how they do it. But you know, you have to be smarter than them. You know what I mean? You have to set the tone for you. You know what I mean? And if you don't respect yourself, they're not gonna respect you. So, you know, for me, it's like, you know, either respect me or you know, leave me alone.
Let me do something else.
Don't let me. I'm gonna do something.
Right.
You know
well, the indies, the independents, record labels. A lot of people have been going that way for a minute now, and it seems to work out better for them, except for the fact that it's hard to get an enormous amount of airplay.
Yeah.
And when you go independent. So, what do you think about that? Or how do you think? What's your concept or perspective about that?
For me, I think what I did in gospel, I could have did on my own. You know what I'm saying? Leave me alone. I'm doing an interview. So this reality. So what happened? What I've done as far as selling records in gospel, I could have done myself, because they didn't do nothing but pay for the album, take it, package it, put it out, throw it up against the wall, see if it sticks.
And there are distributing houses now and packaging places, people that press records for you all over the country now.
Right. So you know, but what I see when major artists, you know, like myself, go out and do independent deals and try to do, they normally don't work. It's not the same, because we really need that machine behind us. You know what I'm saying? We need the marketing. We need their promotion machine as well, because a lot of times we can't get ourselves to the world. They can. We can't get ourselves internationally. They can. You can only do so much through Koch Records and Central South and all these other, you know, indie houses. You can only do so much. You know what I mean? So we as major artists need it. You know, case in point, my man Avant, you know, he went and did something, didn't happen, but then got back to a major label. Now he's back home. You know
and matter of fact, the agency that I work with, we sell dates on the bus.
Yeah,
And
see.
we have people calling for them now.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, and that's my man from, from the Midwest, from the Chi. So we we look out for each other. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy he's back on. But that's just one case. But as many other cases. Once either you lose a deal or you quit and think you can go independent, it don't work. You know what I mean? Those are good avenues for up and coming artists.
Right.
Not really for major artists.
Right.
The only person that can get away with something like that is a Michael Jackson or Prince.
Right. Somebody
You know
who
what
the world just can't deny, or
Exactly.
radio can't deny.
At all.
Yeah,
Right.
so-
So they can do that.
Well, another thing is that I found out about you from just recently becoming a very close friend of yours in the latter months, or close to a year now, that you have written or co-written some of the biggest R&B songs for some other artists.
Yeah.
People like if I'm calling the name, like did you work with Carl Thomas or
Carl
who else? Who are
Thomas,
some of the other people that you?
Carl Thomas, Usher, Mary J, Faith Evans, 112, Jodeci, Casey and JoJo. It's endless. Case, Joe. It's a bunch. There's a bunch more.
Right. I got
really,
you. But the thing about it is that you don't just limit yourself to being an artist on stage. You're also a great writer,
Man,
a
thank
session singer, and me sitting in the studio with you, and I've been in the studio with a lot of people, and I tell everybody that you do the background vocals better and faster than anybody
Appreciate it,
that I ever seen. Because
Appreciate
we go in there, man, you give a song, we take it to the studio, listen to the song on the way to the studio.
Right.
Not having heard it, and jump in the studio, and we boom, boom, bam, in there 2 hours out, we back out and we get it back, back to the crib. So, and it's good. It's not thrown together.
I mean, I started doing studio stuff kind of early, and I make it, my business, to again hone a craft. You know what I'm saying? When I do something, it's not just I'm doing it for my health, because I used to work as a bank teller. You know what I mean? And I ain't trying to go back to no 9 to 5, no regular 9 to 5. I can't do it. God gave me a talent. He gives us talents to use, to make your living off of.
Right.
And my voice is my talent. You know what I mean? I went to high school, went to college in Morehouse on a basketball scholarship, busted my knees. That wasn't what God wanted me to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So ended up using what he wanted me to do. Everybody, you got to find, and this is to y'all, you got to find out what your talent and what your calling is, because if you're doing something other than what you're supposed to be doing, you're wasting your time. Right. And it's going to probably, I'm not speaking nothing crazy over you, but find your purpose and walk in your purpose.
Right. Whether it be writing, producing, and
man, if it be, I ain't talking to you right now. Whether it be skiing,
right,
jumping off a cliff,
a good skill, a good
you
golfer.
know what I mean? Whatever it is.
Yeah.
A
good bank teller. Some people are good at that.
I mean, bank robber.
Yeah.
No, I'm just
hold
kidding.
up.
I'm just
He
kidding,
didn't
man.
say that. John Dillinger coming out. He didn't say that.
Right.
You could have started a trend, but I'm robbing this bank because Dave Hollister said, "Stick y'all up, give it up."
Right. I was just kidding.
But you have some people that I've worked in, that I've done all kind of jobs. And I got guys that started with me straight out of high school driving forklifts that's still doing that. And that's what they like. That's what they were good at. And that's what they are good at. So, it's not to downplay anybody. It's just that you have to do what God has set into motion for you to do. And I just believe firmly that if you're good at something and it's positive, it's got to be something that God bless you with. So, that's what I believe. You ought to go ahead and move with it. So,
got to.
Now, everybody's been talking about the death of Michael Jackson, and you can't ignore it. It's something that you got to talk about, because it's almost like you losing a family member, a brother. So even if you didn't like him or whatever you thought about him, you still had a certain level of respect for something that he did or done. But you got a chance to actually get to meet Mike and know him a little bit personally as a musical influence. So, you know, losing him, what did that mean to you?
Man, it was. I'm gonna try to be cool, but it was like, man, almost losing my father or something. You know what I mean? Like a close family member, because he was. If Mike knew you, he knew you. You know, he would call you out the blue. You know what I'm saying? Just to mess with you about something. That he was just that funny. You know what I mean? He was a funny guy. He played a lot of jokes, man. And I'm just gonna miss him, man. And his talent, you know, when he's focused, man, he's focused. You know what I mean? I remember the first time I came in the studio and he was there, scared the whole dude out of me, man. Because I'm in there, you know, I hear Teddy because we rehearsing, you know, getting ready for tour while he's working on
the Black Street tour.
Yeah, while he's working on Michael's, you know, Dangerous record. You know what I'm saying?
Which a lot of people don't know that Teddy Riley actually did produce
the whole record.
Yeah.
He did the whole record,
yeah.
but too. Matter of fact, that was the first time I met him. I walked into the studio. We was working on our album, and he hadn't. I didn't know he was in town. I knew he was coming, but I didn't know he was in town. I just heard Teddy working on something, banging real hard. So I walked in the studio, and I said, Ted, man, I'm trying. And Teddy wouldn't pay attention to me. You know, he just was focused, looking the other way.
And
I'm
that's
like,
unusual. Now you
right.
his man.
Exactly.
You his go-to
and so
man.
that kind of you know took me. I was like, dude, Teddy, what's? And then I looked up and I saw Michael over there. I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I said the word though.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because first of all, he was real bright, and he was just over in the corner. You know, doing his thing. He wasn't even looking. You know what I mean? And it scared me, man, to the point where I jumped and I ran out the studio.
Well, so I can only imagine seeing
God.
two greats like Teddy Riley over here, and he doing his thing, and then you got D-Man Michael over
in
here
the corner,
walking up.
Not even behind the console. He was in the corner, facing the wall,
doing his thing.
Just feeling the music. He was singing something, didn't know what he was singing, but you know, you heard him making them noise and facing. His face was just straight at the wall.
Yeah. And
he was doing this, you know. I'm like, I gotta go. Bye.
So you know, I saw Teddy, and you got me texting and stuff like Teddy was on CNN
right.
The other Sunday morning. He kind of lost it when they was interviewing him about Mike, and that you know, I could feel where he was coming from, because you just don't have that kind of presence in your life. You know, it would be almost like me, for me, you know, somebody that touched me real big when I was doing gospel. You know, I remember going to my first gospel concert. My aunt carried me when I had the big white shoes on. Remember the big white, sitting there on the front looking at the blind boys, and you know, thinking about that kind of, you know, wanting to be a part of that. So, and I could feel where Teddy was coming from, you know, because he had claimed so much success, and to have Michael Jackson call you up and ask you to work, not just on one song, but the entire project, you know, must have been a great experience for him.
Yeah, man, it was cool. It was cool. Once I got over my fear, we was able to, you know, sit in the studio with him and work. So
do your thing, yeah.
Cool.
So now, everybody want to know, because the whole industry has been talking about it. It's been a buzz. The Guy and Blackstreet reunion. What's up with that?
Well, after, Jesus, let me see.
Because now you actually was at the public announcement, I guess you must say, in Atlanta when y'all performed it or whatever.
Yeah,
the guys got back together.
It's actually been 13 years since we've been apart, and now, you know, it's just I'm at peace with them. You know what I mean? Before, everybody wasn't in the right place. You know, I wasn't in the right place. My mind was, and I just wouldn't do it. You know, but you know, we've all grown since then, and we now said, okay, now it's time. You know, so we getting ready to do it. We getting ready to do the Black Street Guy reunion tour and album, and it's gonna be hot.
Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna be hot.
Yeah.
So look, man, you work with a lot of different people and that sort of thing. You work with almost everybody. So just real briefly, two things I want you to do. First, I want you to give the young cats that's trying to get into the business or just starting, whether it be in marketing, promotions, or radio, or writing, or playing, or whatever. Give them some tips or whatever, some knowledge, because you've been around a long time and you've been very successful at doing it.
Well, pretty much, man. All I would tell you to do is definitely go get educated about what it is that you're trying to break into. There's a lot of snakes out here, a lot of people that want to, you know, extort your talent, you know, and use you. So you got to be smart enough, and don't just jump at the first thing. You have to be smart enough to say no. No is one of the best weapons, especially for now, because you know it's people out here that claim they can do something for you, but they can't do nothing more for you than you can do for yourself. You know, so really educate yourself, and you know, for me, I always say pray and ask God for direction.
With God first.
Yeah.
No doubt. So, who are some of your musical influences? Some of the people that we know, Mike. You can't get around that. So.
Yeah, not at all. Definitely, number one is Donnie Hathaway. Definitely, and Charlie Wilson.
Uncle Charlie.
Yes, sir. Uncle Charlie. And if I call him anything but Uncle Charlie, he's gonna kick my tail. And I have to say, hands down, Marvin Winans has always been a big influence on me. So those are pretty much the, you know, of course Marvin Gaye, but those are pretty much the top.
Right. Well, look, man, you know, one other thing, I found a lot of younger guys mimicking you. You know, like you talk about Donnie Hathaway, who was phenomenal and very overshadowed by a lot of people. But you hear people try to sing like Luther. You've heard people try to sing like Charlie and different. But you know, I remember one cat saying a young brother that we know very well that just started a few years ago that was singing, and you were surprised when he did an interview and said that when they asked him who did he try to sound like or sing like, and he said he was mimicking you.
Wow.
Yeah. Urban Mystic. Yeah.
That is funny, man.
Yeah, but you know, it's that's got to be a great honor.
It is. It really is. It really is. Because he sounds more like my cousin KC to me. But you know, then again, KC and I, we kind of, you know, got the same kind of thing going on. We've been around each other for so long since we was kids. It's just like, you know, we gonna sound like each other.
Right.
That is an honor, man. Big up to Urban Mystic. He's one of the
He's
ones.
The man. It's my man.
He's one of the ones that can hold it down.
And Bodine, Big Bo, Big Bodine.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Well, look, hey, D, thanks, man.
No problem,
Hanging out with us.
Anytime.
Talking
man,
about
anytime.
the music, all right? You know we're going to have you back because we roll like that, all right?
Most definitely.
All right. Talking to your boy, D Holler, and my main man right here. Talking about the